I've got a curtain rail too. Not the actual rail so much as the hanger. We got very heavy curtains, sort of winter type, at the end of the dining cam, walking out into the sun lounge here. Anyway, I won't witter on too long. Got a really pretty, healthy, flowering...
strong today, 10 to 15. Brian, you've been averaging 5, 100% copyable, but unfortunately, Graham, I am having trouble. It's not your fault, but your audio is very boxy on that rig. It always has been. Unless you get a good signal, my hearing at the moment, without the hearing aids in, because that's another saga I don't know whether I told you about, but I'm due to have some new ones. But I haven't put them in this morning. I will be putting them in later, so I suppose with them in I might have picked up a bit more double. But you're only around about a 6, Brian. Brian was fine. Graham. And Dave, if he's still listening, unfortunately you weren't very strong on your net last over, but never mind. Conditions are very poor, but got where you are Whitstable. I'm just west of the city of Exeter in a small village. Yes, I'm sorry to hear about your friend there, Brian. And does he have a carer come in, or has he got a wife still?
Oh, he's got several carers because he isn't short of the LSD, Alan. He's got, because the trouble was, there wasn't no carers there at the time. Now, I wasn't there when he fell down. He fell down the day before. He's got, at the moment, he's got 3 carers, but they take it in turns, you see. They do 1 night on and 3 nights off or something like that. So he's got people there all night. And one of the carers lives on the premises, but in the long barn, over the other side of the yard. But what I said, well, how did he come to fall out down and nobody was about? Well, the carer, they don't give him really 24 hours a day care. There's times when he has his dinner and they'll sit him down in a seat or in a chair, and they'll probably go off and do a bit of shopping. Well, that's what happened. She went off and done a bit of shopping. And then he got this thing around his neck, you know what I mean? He pressed the button if anything's wrong. And she got a call when she was down in Launceston. And at that time, the next door neighbour, he got a call as well, but he couldn't lift him, you see, he's so heavy. At any rate, the carer and the next door neighbour, they managed to lift him up in a chair. But it had really played him up this time. He's about 4 or 5 years older than me. Anyway, back to you, Alan, over.
How much older than you?
About four or 5 years. I think he's about 4 years older than me, Alan, over.
Okay, Brian. Okay, thanks for that information. Yeah, it's very sad. Well, at least he's lucky that he's got a good income, and he's got the carers there. But not a very nice situation, is it? Especially if he's very heavy. And the people got to be so mindful of picking up people now. They're on the floor because they're doing their own backs in. I know the nurse over the road, she had to go on to light duties because she had to have an operation on her spine. She had a prolapse disc, and luckily now they can do this microsurgery, which in my day wasn't available when I blew my disc out. Not just traction, but nowadays they can nibble away at the protrusion and hopefully stop the pressure on the nerve. Very, very painful situation, though. One of the worst pains I think I've ever experienced in the long run. Okay. Yes, okay, on the planes. Well, that is an amazing aircraft. I didn't realise it was started so long ago. I think it was 2005 they started it. But didn't get it flying for some time. But on the test flight, it was, it was remarkable. They were all, over the moon with it. It's a hell of an aircraft, though. They still managed to get all the people off in under 90 seconds. They had to do these tests, and they had the aircraft full on the ground, and all the chutes deployed and everybody came up, because they weren't passengers in brackets. They were people that were recruited, all numbered where they sat as they come out, their numbers on them. But even so, I think it did it in 78 seconds. So that was pretty good going. Well, I don't know anything else I can talk about, really, apart from the rubbish on the television. And the way the world's going, I don't want to get on my soapbox at the moment. I'm so despondent about the way things are running, generally speaking, that I'm just wondering when it all dies down, what the outcome will be. Because I shouldn't worry about things that I shouldn't worry about, but I'm not worried, but I do wonder what the hell is going on. What are these people doing that are causing all these upsets that we have in the government at the moment? But there we are. People are people, I suppose. They're not robots. And look out if we ever get controlled by robots. We'll all be on the on the wheel, running on the wheel, or running in the wheel. Okay, over it comes there, Brian. Say nothing else on the pad. I'll listen around, and then I'll go and take the dog for a walk, I think. So, over to you, Brian. GA0IVO in the group G4PCB.
Yes, okay, Alan. Nice signal. You're way up. You're usual, actually, now. You got up to a 5.9 plus 20. Sometimes you will hang around the 40, but you're 20. Richard's about the same. And Graham, you're down, Graham. Unfortunately, I know you've got an antenna problem. You're a 5.5, Graham, but I can read you. I'll give you my noise level. I think it's dropped back a bit. Yeah, it's back to 3. It's back to 3. Yeah, so that's why I can hear you okay, Graham. Yeah, your barometric pressure is very similar to mine, because when I saw the weather chart last night, I see that we're in more or less, you're right on the edge of the isobar, and I'm in the middle of this one, which is over here. I thought perhaps your reading would be near enough the same. And, well, regarding Edward, you see, he hadn't been swimming lately, because he's got his own private swimming pool or football place. Yeah, he got plenty of LSD, Alan. He was, when he employed me, he and his wife, she died of cancer, unfortunately, 2 years ago. He was an excellent boss. When I was running my business, she would always say, "How's the business going, Brian?" I said, "All right." She said, "If ever you start running out of work, we'll give you plenty of work," and they did too. So I always go and see him as a matter of course. That was a promise I made to his wife when she was dying of cancer. She wanted to make sure that her husband had a good twilight years, as she said, But he got a portable swimming pool, but the boiler in the swimming pool, what heats it, the heated swimming pool, the boiler packed up, and they've had to renew it. It took a bit of time to get the boiler, I understand, but now it's back working again, and they was hoping to get him in the swimming pool possibly tomorrow. That seems to help his walking in the swimming pool, so I'm hoping now they would have gotten in the swimming pool either today or tomorrow. Well, I went and got the paper while you was chatting. It's on page 8 of the Sun, yesterday's paper, and it says, "Where F-15 Eagles scare." It's a daring photographers get a crafty peek at a U.S. Air Force F-15 Eagle from a mountain cliff edge. They captured stunning shots of the warplane as it flew 200 feet beneath them at Cad East Snowdonia. There's a couple of photographs here showing it. We see low-flying aircraft up here, but not like that. That was very dramatic where they're flying up between the mountains. But we've had, over here lately, Alan, we've had quite a few Chinooks again. They all went quiet for about 3 months, now they're back again. So he's obviously doing some training, I should think, up on the moor. But that RAF Atlas been backwards and forwards here all day yesterday, Alan. Whether it's the same one, I don't know. But you get used to the noise it makes. You can hear it coming a long time before you see it. Of course, if there's a lot of cloud of that, you don't see it. But we had clear skies yesterday. In fact, it was a beautiful day. If you're still there, Richard, you aren't singing today, because didn't you go singing last Thursday, Richard, over?
Yeah, that's a Roger, Brian. Yes, it'll be next week now, over.
Yeah, okay, you're on the other aerial, Richard, but I heard you say that's a Roger, so obviously you aren't singing today. All understood, yeah. Well, not much else this end. Well, when I come home yesterday from seeing Ed, that I done a little bit of work, I had to wheel in some more chip-ins. I'm chipping in out a little area up some of my sheds, like, you know, which was getting a bit, what I call, a bit muddy. So I've had in a dumpy bag of chip-ins. I've been wheeling them up. Apart from that, nothing much else, actually. I spoke to Roy. He's back on the net, and he's been to Weymouth for a week. That was last week, Richard, and he said that they had beautiful weather all the time in Weymouth. He was quite chuffed with Weymouth, although I think he's been there before, but he said they've had sun just about every day. So much better than what we've had up here, like, you know. So there you are. Right then, Graham, I shall be listening, filling at the log, and then QRT should be about tomorrow, all being well. And all understood, Alan, your feelings about the state of the country. Oh, God, I despair these days when I hear all these tales and stories going on. It makes you wonder how it's all going to finish up, but there you are. Well, I suppose we can do something about giving the local MP a bit of stick, but I think our local MP is in hibernation. At time, actually. And when they have Prime Minister's question time of a Wednesday 12 o'clock, I like to watch that, but I haven't seen our MP in there for weeks, so I don't know what he's up to, but there you are. I'll get off those soapbox and put it round to you, Graham, and I hope everything's all right down in Cornwall this morning. GHVRV, this station, GZIVO, yeah, and Dave, if you're still listening, nice signal. You're 559, holding steady 59. I'm 7 miles northwest of the town of Oakhampton in West Devon. And I'll put it across to you, Graham, and I shall be filling at the log and then QRT. Everybody have a good day. HVRV, GZIVO listening.
Quick break. Graham, 7-3 to you, Brian. Brian, I've seen a picture in the paper, the F-15 flying eagles or fighting eagles with the twin tails. Yes, there was a picture in the paper with the people looking down on it. Yes, a very pretty aircraft. Quite old, but very nice looking bit of machinery. Thanks for the break, Graham. 7-3 to you there, Brian. Over to Graham, G8VRV, G4PCB. Hopefully I can hear you.
Yes, okay, from G8VRV. Yes, you've come up in strength since my last over, Alan. You're between 7 and 9 now, most of the time. Brian's come up from my noise level to S7. And Brian, I think you might have jogged your VFO just a bit. I don't think you're quite on the frequency. I think you must have jogged it when you looked at your noise level just now. It suddenly jumped a bit when you did that. Yes, all okay on everything from everybody, and yes, it's not easy when you get old and you can't get around. I can understand that completely, Brian. The chap that you go and see there. Yes, all understood on that completely. Oh yes, okay. On the bowling yesterday, I was going to ask you that, Alan, how that went. Hope you don't get that virus that's going around. What else? Oh yes, when Richard replied to when you replied to Brian just now, even though you're on the wrong area, I could just hear you, only just. That's unusual. So perhaps the correct area will give me a much better signal. Well, sure, of course it will, but It was unusual that I heard you on the wrong one anyway. I suppose we could still try 5 megs to see if conditions have changed since yesterday. Anyway, what else? I think that's about it for me. Yes, the microphone's not that hot. I know it's a little bit plasticky, sort of boxy sort of sound. I do know that, Alan, but it is what it is, I suppose. Right, round to Richard. G3ZGP, aerial switching time, G8VRV, over.
Can I have a quick break, Richard?
Okay, Graham.
Yeah, quick break, Richard, from IVO.
Roger.
Yeah, sorry about that, Graham. Yes, I hit the knob with the paper. I should have had the lock on. I got the lock on now. That's what it was. I realised when Alan started talking that I was off frequency. Sorry about that, yeah. I got a lock here and I don't very rarely use it, but it's on there now. Okay, back to you, Richard.
Yeah, thank you. I mostly put the lock on now because I'm likely to go and jog my hand against the VFO when I'm going to turn another knob at times. It's easy done, we all do it. From G3ZGP, if you've got a couple of minutes, Graham, I'm going to go over to 371 on 5 megs just to see how tangible it would be to work you this morning. So I'll say 7.3 to everybody. I'll just see if although I won't be able to copy Dave too well, just see if he's got any final comments for you lads. We're here this time of day this morning, but I don't know what I'm going to do about this noise. There's no point me being in the chair for the group and not being able to hear everybody properly all the time. So I'll just take a break. I'm not sure whether Dave's signed or not. G4ELP, G3ZGP and Company. Nobody there, is there?
Negative. I think he signed last time, Richard. Over.
I didn't hear anybody.
Okay, thanks for that. Okay, Doug, 10-3s, everybody. Brian, Alan, and Graham on this one. And I'll just pop over to 5 megs just to see if we got a closer skip this morning. 7-3s from G3ZGP.
Yeah, 7-3, Richard. I've got a minute, so I might just pop over and have a listen, see what you like, give you a report. So 7-3 from G4PCB, I'm signing clear on 80 metres and having a listen on 5 megahertz. G4 Papa Charlie Bravo clear, QSY. Am I on?
Yeah, cheers from G0IVO. I'll have a quick listen on the 706 if I can hear anything. If it's strong signals, I'll come in. All the very best, G0IVO QSY.
G8VRV QSY. G8VRV back on 80 meters.
GP on frequency, nothing heard on 5 megs.
No, I didn't hear you either, Richard. No copy at all. No copy on 60 meters. Over.
Yeah, not really reading you too well, but I understand you've come back, yeah. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird why 5 megs has changed like that. 7.3, Graham, 7.3. Da-da-da.
the heating in the shed as well? Do they take the heating out to the shed, Dave? Go ahead.
No, negative. No, that's nothing like that in here. No, the reason it's a big tank, you remember years ago when people first had central heating, they had a big metal tank in the garden? Well, it's one of them. It's a big metal tank, but of course it's inside the building and not outside, so it hasn't rusted or anything like that, you see. So I've still got, the tank's probably 30 years old, but because it's never been out in the open air, it's still a valid tank. You remember, Dave, how they used to have a big green tank in the garden? Well, it's one of those, but it's inside of it.
Ah, yeah, GM8 UPI. Ah, very good. Very good. I remember those big tanks, right enough. I know mine's is one of the, well, fairly modern ones. I don't know how old it is, but it's one of these green plastic things, double skinned, you know. Same as you had up in Skye, the same as Ali's got, about the same sort of size. As I say, I think it's 1300 maximum capacity. So yeah, I don't need any. As I said to you the other day, I don't need any. It's 3/4 full, and since I've got rid of the leaks and so on, we don't use as much as we were when we first moved in. So that's quite good. Yeah, I had an interesting short QSO the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before? With the G8 BBC. The G8 BBC. I wonder if you've read about that in Radcom or Practical Wireless. It's the station they've set up on top of the BBC building in London, Dave. Go ahead.
Yes, I read about it. Is it on the BBC building? It used to be in the Langham Hotel, just across the road from the BBC at Portland Place. Was it in the BBC building? Because the BBC, I think they own the Langham or lease it or something. But is it actually in the BBC building? Matters not. I've read about it anyway. I knew they were sort of revitalising the station, bringing it back to life again, which is a bit of fun, really. The BBC should have an amateur station. During your war, the BBC amateur radio station was in touch with people down in the Falklands, and I think it was Laurie Margolis, whose call sign I can't remember, a G3, who was a BBC reporter who used to have contacts with the Falklands when the Falklands War was going on, Dave, from the Langham Hotel, from the shack in the Langham, huh?
Oh yeah, okay. No, I didn't know that. I must admit, I didn't have much time to be chatting on amateur radio when I was down there. Oh dear. Didn't have any time to sleep, never mind anything else. Yeah, no, it's a new station. I was talking to the guy. He says it's been going for a couple of months now. They've refurbished a room right at the top of the BBC building in the centre of London, and they've got I don't know what he was just using it was on 40 metres, just a dipole up on the roof. So it's a sort of refurbished thing. It's been going for a couple of months now. So I don't know how many radio amateurs are scattered around the BBC, but this guy was just taking a bit of a break, and he came up and put out a call and had quite a few QSOs going, so it was quite interesting. I read it, but I didn't know the BBC had an amateur radio station going, but I suppose it makes sense. But I just read about it the other day there, and there was an article on the BBC World Service. One night I was listening to it, as I tend to do when I go to bed, you know. I switch on the radio and put it to Radio 4, and of course it switches over to the World Service at some 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And there was an article on that, a short article on that, talking to people involved in setting up the amateur radio station, and they gave the call sign out as G8 BBC, and I thought, oh, I must listen for that. So it was just a coincidence. I was just tuning around and heard this guy calling CQ, gave him a call, and that's who it was. So quite interesting. It was quite a good signal. It was in the middle of the afternoon. I think it was about 2 o'clock. And he was 5 and 9. He gave me 5 and 9 also. He was only running 80 watts from TS590, I think he said. TS590, 80 watts and a dipole. Guy by the name of Brian. So I don't know I don't know what position he had in the BBC, but maybe some sort of technician or something like that. But I suppose there might be quite a few of them licensed, Dave. Go ahead.
MW0B was probably Brian Blessed. No, it was, there were quite a few that were licensed, I believe. And the club, yes, when the Falklands got invaded, they dragged out Laurie Margolis, who is G3 something, I can't remember his call, and they sort of said, well, try and get in touch with some of the amateurs on the Falklands, and he did, I believe. Yeah, there's quite a lot there, and quite a few interested in amateur radio. There was a BBC Amateur Radio Club. I know this because Martin, you see, GA8AOB worked for the BBC, although he was in Scotland, and there's loads of the guys who are amateurs who worked as techies for BBC. I'm sure they've still got a lot of amateurs who do. God, I'm trying to think of some of the other names of the blokes who I knew, who were engineers with the BBC, who used to work around Scotland, of course. I remember one day I got a call from, oh God, I can't remember his name now, but there were two of the, I mean, most of the engineers were amateurs. And I remember one of them called me up one day, and there were two of them I knew, one of them we'd had for dinner the week before, and he said, oh Dave, can you come and meet us at Uig? We haven't got an electric drill. So I met them at Uig. I had to go over to Aitchel to do some work, and I lent them an electric drill because they hadn't got one. They'd forgotten it and left it in the workshop down in Fort William at Corpac there. Yeah, I used to know quite a few of them, the engineers. But in London, I'm sure there are a load of amateurs there, and probably still are. I'm glad they got it going again. It's a nice thing to have because, of course, they were on the air for years, the BBC Amateur Radio Club, and it's nice to know they're back again. But loads of them will be licensed, you can bet. And of course, it actually, you must have an interest in radio to be a techie, so a radio technician. So I would assume that it might even attract more people into the hobby. Anyway,